now joining us in the studio. Today's co-host is an award-winning senior business journalist, columnist and editor, and has worked for the likes of the Financial Times, The Guardian and the Arab News of Saudi Arabia and The National right here in the UAE. Please give a warm welcome to Frank Kane. Frank, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Amy. Thank you very much indeed. It's a great pleasure to be here. I'm honoured to be invited. Thanks.
Amazing. So we know that you have covered business and global trends, especially focusing on this region. And we're now talking today about urban futures and evolving demographics. And I'm interested to know, what is your take on things and what do you think that we're going to see exciting things happening here in the UAE?
Well, the World Government Summit is, really is one of those big events, a regional event that's become a global event, and it discusses many, many issues. Because I'm a business and economics journalist by background, I like to start with the economy and to get that into perspective. Those signs are very good indeed. All the expert forecasts, the IMF, the World Bank, they are forecasting very good growth in GDP for Dubai and the UAE. So that's good. I think that the background here is that Dubai had a very good COVID, if such a thing is possible, and it came out of COVID, very well prepared indeed, and took measures to bring people into the UAE, into Dubai, and those people have come in their hundreds of thousands, and that's why we're seeing this huge population surge, and that of course brings its own challenges, doesn't it, as we know, issues of urban mobility and sustainability. So those are things that will be discussed at the World Government Summit, I guess.
Amazing.
Well, Frank, building on your economic background, and I'm so glad that you're here, so you can enlighten us a little bit. So we know that cities are economic engines, and the UAE is also one that had rapid growth and highly diverse population. What demographic shifts do you think we can expect here in the city?
I think we've seen a big demographic shift already since COVID, but that is, I'm sure that will accelerate because if you look back maybe 2 decades, I wasn't here two decades ago, but I know what it was like when I arrived. This was a European American city in the top, rank of expats. Now it is becoming a far more Middle Eastern and Asian city, I believe. We are seeing a very big influx of wealthy people from the Indian subcontinent. That has changed the demographic hugely. We're also seeing in the past couple of years a big influx of people from Russia, for some obvious reasons. I live in Marina, Dubai Marina, and I and my neighbours now have taken to calling it Marinagrad because there are so many Russians there, and welcome to them, I say. So the demographic is changing, and that will also present challenges because people they have to get on. Not everybody does get on. I'm reminded sometimes of the analogy with the United States. The melting pot, lots of different nationalities are thrown together and they all mix and they meld together and they come out indistinguishable. Here in the UAE, it's the salad bowl. The same ingredients go in, but they remain distinct. So, how do you handle the kind of social issues that presents? That's something that the World Government Summit will discuss, I'm sure.
Definitely. I really think that that's something they're going to be discussing over the time of the World Government Summit. But also that's something that you talked about as well, sustainability. But for someone that's watching that doesn't know what's urban tech or smart living, it's all new terms that some people are not very used to and they don't know what it is. Because yes, the city is evolving and changing and there's a lot of, let's say, bike lanes and they've introduced all these things to make it more sustainable for people to move from one place to the other. So can you please tell us more about that?
Well, I think there is a temptation to look at technology as an end in itself, and it shouldn't really be like that. The job of technology should be to make our lives more livable, more comfortable.
Easier.
And things like mobility and accessibility.
Yes.
You know, those can certainly be improved by technology. And Dubai has taken great strides in this respect. You know, the smart city concept. I remember when Mohammed Al-Gargawi first raised this issue some years ago now, 7 or 8 years ago. And you know, everyone smart, you know, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But actually, Dubai has pulled that off. You know, it has proved to be a smart way of living, which has added to the comfort and quality of life of people here. We can do virtually everything online, can't we?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know it drives me mad sometimes when my daughter orders an ice cream online. I think, oh, go to the shop.
It's like, how about you go to the shop?
Yeah, exactly. You know, have you thought of the sustainability trade-off of you ordering that ice cream? You know, blah blah blah. But it certainly has worked, and most of the global indices show that Dubai has made great strides in this aspect, and is up there amongst the most successful in terms of smart living and use of technology.
So looking forward, where do you think that technology is going to be most used? Which field within like urban futures do you think it's going to be strongest and most prevalent?
I think it has to be mobility, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mobility and transport, because with this influx of people that I mentioned early on, of course, that brings social pressures. You know, the mere fact of so many people in one place, and we will look to technology to smooth over those issues. I believe we will have to have new ways of getting around the city, and new ways of ordering your transport systems. You know, we've talked for a long time about flying taxis.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that they want to introduce as well. I think it's going to be happening very soon here in Dubai as well.
Yeah, yeah. So I believe. Well, I look forward to that very much. But it's not just about that, is it? It's about, you know, Dubai is a car city. Let's face it. I know there is a metro, you know, which is very successful too. But Dubai is a car city, and we have to find a way to deal with the motor car. I'm reminded here of something called LA syndrome. Have you heard of LA syndrome? Los Angeles syndrome. In the 1970s, when everyone flocked to Hollywood and LA, they all wanted to buy a car, and they did, and suddenly the place was crammed. You know, bumper to bumper, all the freeways blocked. So LA decided, right, we have to deal with this. We'll build more roads, and they in 3 years they added 50% to the road area of LA, and 3 years after that they were all full again, because people will always want to drive where there is an open space. And Dubai has to kind of resist this temptation, I think, you know, to just keep adding to the road surface all the time. It has to come up with smarter ways to do that. So, but having said that, you know, the means are there, the strategy is there, the technology is there. So, you know, why shouldn't it do it? I was just looking recently. Last week, the DIFC, I don't know if you noticed this, they announced, it used to be called DIFC 2.0, it's now called DIFC Zabil District. And this is a huge development, you know, which expands the current DIFC by threefold over the next 15 years. And this is the kind of integrated strategic project, you know, that Dubai will increasingly do in the future, I think.
Okay.
And you know, that of course depends on smart governance, smart strategy, smart use of technology.
Definitely, they all come hand in hand all together for it to work.
Yeah.